What's going on, Orlando Magic fans? Welcome to the Six-Man Show Postgame Live, presented by Thrivent. We're back with another L, folks. That would be, is that 4 in a row? 4 in a row. 4 in a row. 4 losses in a row. Magic lose to Cleveland again. This time 114-98. This time in Cleveland. Magic, in some ways, played better, and in some ways you didn't. Man, you wasted a really good Paolo night, 37 and 10 for him with good shooting numbers. Only 3 players in double figures for the Magic tonight. 37 for Paolo, 19 for Desmond Bane, 14 for Anthony Black, and that's it. That's not great. And then on the defensive end, you allow the Cavaliers to shoot 44% from 3. Which is also not great. And I did a little math as the clock was winding down in this one. The Magic over the last 5 games, their opponents are averaging 44% from 3 on average. That's absolutely wild. They've given up 44%, 44%, 47%, 37%, and 47% from 3 in the last 5 games. Absolutely unheard of stuff. But here we are. Somehow, some way, we're in this spot. Welcome to the Six-Man Show Postgame Live, presented by Thrivent. My name is Kevin. Glad you're with us. This is our live show here on YouTube after every single Orlando Magic game. Win, loss, draw, doesn't matter. We're here. And so super glad you're hanging out with us on this Monday night. This show is brought to you by Marc.abraham. He is a financial advisor with Thrivent, who is also a die-hard Orlando Magic fan and season ticket holder, who loves this team and absolutely hates that we are losing. Trust me, he is not happy about it. If you want to give him a call, you can call him at 407-366-4364. And first, you can talk some Orlando Magic basketball and how miserable it is right now, but then you can talk personal finance. Mark just wants to help Orlando Magic fans be wise with their money. And so if you're looking for a little bit of advice, a little bit of help, trying to figure out this whole big finance thing, Mark is a great person to call. You can also shoot him an email, visit his website. Both of those are in the description as well. So big shout out to Mark and Thrivent for sponsoring the show. The call is totally free, the consultation call, so give him a call. Like I said, talk a little Magic basketball first, and then talk a little personal finance as well. Mark, Thrivent, thanks so much for sponsoring the show. All right, Magic lose. I'm absolutely not going to sit here and push the moral victory button. I absolutely won't do it. Magic still lost. Magic still have problems. I will say at least the energy looked better through 3.5 quarters. I genuinely think the end of the fourth quarter, this team just didn't have anything left in the tank when they were just jacking up all those threes and stuff. But at least the team had a respectable amount of effort in this game. Shots didn't fall. There were some weird bounces that led to easy Cavs buckets. But at the end of the day, it's an L, and it's not pretty. It's another double-digit loss. All of the losses in the stretch have been by double digits. And again, another night where the other team shoots lights out from 3. Again, 44% tonight from 3 for the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell drops 45 on you. Ultimately, just the offense tonight, just not enough. Not enough help for Paolo. Yeah, I don't mean to like fan the flame and poke the bear, but the people that say Paolo is the problem, go watch that game. Tell me Paolo is the problem. Yeah, good luck. Good luck in that argument. All right, this show is all about you. We want to hear from you. That's what this is about. Best way to do that is through Super Chat. So if you want to have your voice heard, we read 100% of the Super Chats on this show. And in a little bit, we'll go through some of the other chats, and we'll hit a few of those. We'll hit the box score, the scores around the league, and the standings, and we'll call it a night. I don't think this is going to be a super long show. I'm tired. I'm cold. I'm upset. I'm tired of losing. Ay. All right, we got a few Super Chats to get us started here. Jalen Lawson says, we need more than just, quote, sit down and guard. Yeah. That phrase sounds so good when you're winning. And when you're losing, you're tired of hearing it over and over again. Yikes. Thanks for that super chat. eCraft says, loved P5 hunting his shot and offensive aggression, but he needs to take the next step as a leader. When he checked out in the second quarter, his bad body language and defense killed the intensity. Margins are very thin right now. Thanks for that super chat. Yeah, I loved the aggression we saw from Paolo. I talked about it on today's episode of the podcast with Jonathan. I wanted to see Paolo Banchero get more shots up, and he certainly did that. Took 21 shots tonight and shot, I think, 13 free throws. So somewhere around, we'll say 5 to 6 shot attempts turn into free throws. So that's somewhere around between 25 and 28 shot attempts total, if you count it that way tonight, which I love that. I'm all in favor of it. The body language stuff, I mean, maybe there's something to that, but he's got to be frustrated on a night like tonight where nobody did anything. Like even Desmond Bane got off to a good start and then didn't really do a whole lot in the second half. Yeah, no, he definitely did. He had 15 at the half and he ends up with 19, so he had 4 points in the second half. Like the offense on the rest of the team was absolutely woeful. The Magic shoot 28% from three. Desmond Bane went 43%. Paolo went 40%. Tyus Jones went 1 of 2 for 50%, and everybody else was 33% or less. You got Jalen Suggs going 0 for 5, Penda going 0 for 1, Jace Richardson going 0 for 1. That doesn't help. And then Anthony Black goes 2 for 9. Mo Wagner 1 for 3. Tristan went 1 for 2. Excuse me. Although Tristan didn't play until the last 9 minutes. Well, really, the beginning of the fourth quarter, I guess. The first 9 minutes of the fourth quarter. Thanks for that super chat, Eatcraft. And we got one here from Magic Man. VJ89 says, we're the only team in the NBA that can't shoot. Golly. It's so painful. 28% from three while the other team shoots 44%. And what I really hated was I can think of three, like I can vividly remember 3 possessions where the Magic either got a stop or looked like they were going to force a turnover and it was a loose ball and it ended up finding its way to a Cavalier player and they knocked down a 3. Like they had 3 demoralizing possessions like that tonight. All 3 of them ended in threes made by the Cavs. Super frustrating. Super, super frustrating. What's also a little bit weird, well, hold on. Let me just jump over the box score super fast. We're going to go through the thing in detail in a little bit. But first, what's also super weird is as bad as the bench was, like, I mean, look at these bench numbers. They're just terrible. As bad as the bench was, they actually performed better than the starters tonight as far as plus minus goes. The starters were terrible. All in the negatives. Desmond Bane, a team low minus 17. But the bench, as bad as it was, were more in the game than the starters tonight, which is really something. Really, really something. All right, got a couple more super chats. eCraft comes back and says, not saying Paolo is the problem, but he has the second worst overall plus minus on the team, and we do not generally win when he has big nights. Mo's issue? ? Yeah, we talked about that, Jonathan and I, on today's episode of the podcast. I am definitely in the camp that, like you said, quote unquote, the problem, to me, does not fall on any one person or any one thing. I think the Magic have a lot of problems. I'm certainly not in the camp that any one person is a problem. I don't think Coach Mosley is the problem. I don't think Paolo Banchero is the problem. I don't think anyone is the problem. I think we have plural problems, and those problems don't look like they're getting any better, which is really unfortunate. Louis Rosario with a super chat says, I'm in for $1,000 to go to the Miami game for 24 hours to hope and pray for a win. Where is my emotional return on my investment? Not sure. Yeah, man. Going to Miami on Wednesday, Magic's next game. It would be so nice to snap this losing streak in Miami and just absolutely beat the brakes off of them. That would just feel so great, but I don't know. I have a hard time believing this team can beat anybody right now the way we're playing, which is unfortunate. But, hey, I really hope I'm wrong. If we're going to turn around, let's do it against Miami. Sign me up for that, please. Sign me up for that. All right. Let's hit some of these messages from the chat, and then we'll go to the box score in just a moment. Ajori B says, Cavs don't miss any open threes. Nope. They sure don't. I'm Jovi says, Suggs dunk. OMG. Yeah, that was nice. leading candidate for Jam Hot Chicken Jam of the Week so far in this very, very short week thus far. I'm Jovi says incoming 5-game losing streak. Again, we'll see about Wednesday. We will see about Wednesday. Teddy Stream says, Magic Maniacs, where do we go from here? I don't know. It just seems like the next, where do we go from here is, I feel like Magic fans are just waiting for something to happen, whether it is a coaching change, whether it is some sort of trade. I don't know, but I feel like that's what Magic Maniacs are waiting for, because it doesn't feel like, as currently constructed, it doesn't feel like this team is going to pick themselves up off the floor. It's like they need, a little boost or something. Maybe. I don't know. American Brute says, keep jacking threes. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, the final minutes of this game were really, really tough. The Magic are, down anywhere from 9 to 12 in the last couple of minutes. And so statistically, you do have to start taking threes, but none of them were going. I mean, even close. It was really, really tough to watch. RAHC says, so is Franz the solution? Certainly can't hurt. Certainly can't hurt to have Franz Wagner back. Man, I hope we get him back soon. Ay. Blake says, this Magic team has been the 1 seed one time this season, literally after the first game the Magic played. Yeah, 1-0 opening night after beating Miami. And then you lost a bunch of games and won some games, and now you're losing games again. Chef Adam says, poor Kevin is going to have to do this in the pitch black dark soon. It's coming. It's coming. If the Magic lose again, there's that 5-game losing streak. And if you've been here before during a 5-game losing streak, Darth Kevin comes out. It's not a good time. Hide your kids. Ay. Got a lot of people complaining about Wendell Carter Jr., including Steve, who says Carter has to go. Worst center in the NBA. Jacks up threes all night. Let's see. He took 4 threes tonight. Statistically, Wendell's not been bad from 3 this year. I know the question remains, is that what you want from your center? Do you want your center hanging out in the perimeter and taking and even making threes? That's a philosophy question, I guess. But yeah, Wendell tonight, 9.7 boards against the tough double big lineup that Cleveland always rolls out there. Let's see. We'll check out a couple more of these, and then we'll go check out the box score. Some people saying we need Franz back. No doubt. Cannot hurt. Magic 12 says, I know you're sick of doing these. I'm glad you get it. I'm glad you understand. Yes, I am absolutely, not that I don't love this show. I love this show. I love doing it. I love our Magic Maniacs, but I am absolutely sick of doing these after these losses. Maybe that's a better way to put it. I'm absolutely ill. I'm a diehard Magic fan. I'm ill from just watching the game, much less getting on here and having to talk about how my team is absolutely falling apart when we had such high expectations. So yes, I am sick of doing these after these losses. This is not what I signed up for. Absolutely not. Jalen Lawson with the super chat says, what hurts most about these two is they played hard and gave it all they had. The philosophy isn't working and the confidence in it is fractured. I think that's very well put, Jalen Lawson. I think that's a great way to describe what we just watched. Because I do believe the energy and effort was there tonight. Maybe more so of any game since Berlin, and maybe even a little better than Berlin, honestly. But in spite of doing all of that, in spite of putting forth the effort, and I thought for the this is going to sound really stupid. I thought for the most part the defense tonight was actually pretty good. You did give up a bunch of open threes. That's not good. But there were large stretches of this game where I was actually pretty happy with the defense. And even the final score, you give up 114 to Cleveland. Like that's not horrible, right? It's not. I would like for the Magic to keep them under that, but it's not. In today's NBA, 114 isn't terrible. It's not like the Magic had horrendous defense tonight. But again, you allow Cleveland to shoot 44% from 3. But back to your point, like they bought into the philosophy tonight. it looked like they had some really good effort for large parts of this game, and it still wasn't good enough. Whether it's just because the guys couldn't knock down threes or because the offense as a whole is a mess, which is the coaching staff's fault, whatever, take your pick. But I think that your last sentence, confidence in it is fractured, I think is a perfect explanation. Yeah. Lots of complaints about the offense, not surprisingly. It's pretty funny. Tyler Morrison says, effort was great tonight, I thought. What is Mo's going to blame tonight? Yeah, I'm with you. I thought the effort was fine for the most part. I'm definitely curious. I feel like every post-game press conference now, I'm just very curious what can possibly be said. By mostly or by players too, like what could possibly be said. Shout out to Tyler and all of our channel members, by the way. If you want to become a channel member, if you just want to support what we're doing here at the Six Man Show, $5 a month gets you access to some custom emojis, which you can use in the chat here on YouTube, and that really cool star next to Tyler's name. If you want that as well, you can become a channel member. Shout out to all of our amazing channel members. Chef Adam says, I'm tired of hearing we got to give the other team credit. No, we don't. That's soft mentality, yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Heck yeah says, I'm getting offered free tickets for Wednesday's game in Miami. 3 hours away. Should I go or no? That is a tough question. Because if the Magic were playing better basketball, I would say you absolutely do that. That sounds like a blast. And I'm still going to say you should do it just because that's what we do as sports fans. Team's good, team's bad. You get offered 3 free tickets, I think you should go. But I understand if there's hesitation because of how this team is playing right now. Let's see, we got a couple super chats in here. One is from Luis Rosario again, who says, J.I. with the $15 million rebound. Ouch. Yeah, Jonathan Isaac plays 5 minutes tonight, gets 1 rebound. But, hey, he played. That's better than it's been lately. No, the Jonathan Isaac thing, it feels like we are quite literally a week and a half away from seeing Jonathan Isaac get shipped. That's how it feels to me. It's too expensive to have him sitting on the bench doing nothing. Thanks for that super chat. Phil with a super chat says, why isn't anyone talking about Franz coming back for 2 games and coming back hurt? Publicity stunt? Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast today, me and Jonathan. And maybe controversially, I said, and I think Jonathan agreed as well, I think it's totally worth it, which sounds crazy, but that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him to host the NBA in his home city. I think if the Magic were to deny that to him, I think that would have been that could have really, really soured the long-term investment that you have in Franz Wagner and Mo Wagner, but especially the long-term investment you have in Franz Wagner, to where think in the future when it's time to come back to the negotiating table about a future deal or whatever, you do not want the cloud hanging over your head of the team I was capable of playing, I wanted to play, and the team did not let me play in this historic night for my city. I don't know. To me, I'm glad they let him play, even if it means he's out another week or 2, whatever. That sounds crazy, I know. But I think for the long-term investment and just as a gesture of appreciation to him, like, why not give him that opportunity? Which he obviously was healthy enough to play. And there's also a world where it's neither. Maybe he really did re-aggravate it, or it really did flare up after playing those games, which the Magic did not expect. I don't know. But it's definitely a conversation, that is for sure. G Gaines says, is that Gabe Gaines? Says, hello, darkness, my old friend. Hello, darkness, my old friend. We need a true point guard and a center. Would help a lot. Also, a new head coach would be great too. Rip. That's funny. Yeah, it's the Magic struggles right now. There's the part of me that wonders, okay, what happens when you get Franz back? Like, how many of these problems does Franz fix? And unfortunately, as good as Franz is, these problems feel so much deeper than just, oh, Franz can come back and save us. That's what's a little scary to me. All right, let's go check out the box score. I know we looked at it just briefly a second ago, but let's take a look. It's not pretty. Desmond Bane, 19 points, 4 boards. 3 of 7 from 3, which is great, but Desmond Bane had 15 points at the half, so it means he only had 4 in the second half. Not good enough. Paolo Banchero, terrific night. Season high 37 for him with 10 boards and 4 assists. Only 2 turnovers in 39 minutes and 48 seconds. He was really, really good tonight. Wendell Carter Jr., we talked about him a little bit, but 9.7 boards for him. Anthony Black was the only other player in double figures besides Desmond Bane and Paolo. He has 14 points, 4 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals on 6 of 14 shooting and 2 of 9 from 3, though. Not great. Not Desmond Bane. Jalen Suggs, 2 of 13 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3, just 4 points for him in 27 minutes. Not great. Tyus Jones plays 18 minutes tonight after not playing on Saturday. He ends up with 3 points and 3 boards, 3 assists. Noah Penda plays 14 minutes tonight. He scores 2. Mo Wagner with 5 points in 12.5 minutes. Chase Richardson did not score in 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Jonathan Isaac with the 1 rebound in 5 minutes, what we just talked about. And then Tristan da Silva is interesting, does not play in the first 3 quarters, starts the 4th quarter and plays the next 9 minutes. Had some pretty big plays on both ends of the floor. Obviously, the biggest sequence, the block, and then the 3 in very quick succession there. But also had a pretty bad turnover in there. I've seen a lot of people in the chat talking about, why is Tristan not playing in the first 3 quarters? Tristan has really struggled lately. Can't say I hated the decision to not play him, but then give him credit. He came in and made some plays in the 4th quarter, and so hopefully this is something that can ignite Tristan back into form. Magic shoot just 40% from the field and 28% from 3 and 73% at the free throw line. Paolo was the only guy to get to the line until the 4th quarter when Desmond Bane had 2 free throws. So just not a lot of aggression, not a lot of getting to the rim, and certainly not a lot of free throws for this team as a whole. Like I mentioned earlier, Cavs shot 44% from 3. The Magic, over the last 5 games, that is the average that they are giving up to their opponents. The average, their teams are shooting on average 44% from 3 in their last 5 games. That is absolutely atrocious. Really, really terrible stuff. Magic win the first quarter and then lose the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarters. They get outscored 39-24 in that 2nd quarter. Yikes. Magic with just 38 points in the paint. That passes the eye test with those free throws. They get only 13 fast break points and only 15 bench points. Yikes. Give them credit, though. They only turn the ball over 11 times, and they force 14 Cleveland turnovers. While we are here, let's just go ahead and knock it out. Let's check out the scores in the standings. The games that have gone final. The Charlotte Hornets have won 3 in a row, and they've been very convincing victories. They beat the Philadelphia 76ers today by 37. And they led at one point in this game by 50. Yeah, 5-0. So, yeah. Not saying the Magic's loss to the Hornets last Thursday was great or anything like that. But a game like this makes you go, maybe the Hornets are just really on fire right now. Cavs beat the Magic. Hornets beat the Sixers. Hawks beat the Pacers. Those are the games that have gone final thus far. Warriors, Timberwolves, Rockets, Grizzlies, Lakers, Bulls, and Celtics, Blazers are currently underway. Let's check out the standings and see how much further the Magic have fallen. They are now down to 9th right now in the Eastern Conference and only a game and a half up on the Atlanta Hawks, who, again, just beat the Pacers tonight. You are a game and a half up on the 10 seed. That is tough. You now trail the Chicago Bulls. You trail the Miami Heat. The Magic are now all the way back, 4.5 games back of the 3 seed Toronto Raptors, 4 games back of the 4 seed New York Knicks. Not good. The other thing I'll add to it, because why not? Why not just make the misery worse? You are, 4.5 games up on the Milwaukee Bucks. Guess who you play twice in a week and a half? The Milwaukee Bucks. Keep an eye on that because You're 4.5 games up on them right now, but those are back-to-back games against that opponent. If you lose both of those, that's 2 games knocked off that lead. You could be, 2 games up of missing out on the play-in completely, missing out on the postseason completely. Like, we are actually in some pretty critical territory when it comes to the NBA standings right now. The good news, of course, as we've said many times on this show, it is all very congested, very, very congested from 4 to 9, right? 4 games separating from 4 to 9 is not a lot, and it can be turned around, but it has to be turned around, or this is going to be a real. I mean, it's already a problem, obviously, but it's going to become insurmountable sooner rather than later if the Magic don't figure something out. All right, last couple of thoughts here from the chat before we call it a night. Edison says, not going to lie, I was this close to season tickets, even thought about a Magic license plate. Thank God I didn't pull the trigger. I'm a diehard fan, but if the team isn't investing effort, I'm not investing. I will say, regardless, like the season ticket thing, I understand, regardless of how the team's doing, that license plate is so sick. It is so sick. Speaking of which, I need to share a silver lining from tonight. This was an S-tier uniform matchup. That shade of orange from Cleveland and the Magic's black statement jerseys, that is A+ uniform matchup tonight. That was a work of art. If there's any silver lining tonight, that's it. Oh, man. Yeah, I loved it. So, all right, last couple thoughts here from the chat, and we're going to call it a night. Destined for Greatness says, not having answers makes me feel like the coaching issues are the biggest issue. Yeah, I think that's part of why Magic fans are so full of, I don't know if angst is the right word, but like not having I wish it was a glaringly obvious thing why this team struggles offensively. Like if it was glaringly obvious, Magic fans could point towards it and go, boom. But because there's not one clear reason why this team absolutely sucks, fingers are going to point at the coach, and rightfully so, right? I mean, we've been dealing with this for several years now. If you can't figure out, then yeah, it's going to go to the head coach. It's just the way it goes. Let's see. Pissed off Magic fan says, wake me up when the nightmare is over. Unfortunately, does not feel like it is close to it. Atarian says, Cavs play double bigs. Goga should have gotten serious minutes. I think it's a decent shout. I know they're trying to get Mo Wagner back into game form, but I think Goga could have made something maybe a little bit interesting, at least for a stretch. I don't know how many minutes, but man. Steve DeLong says, 195 views and only 19 likes. Hit the like button, y'all. Yeah, hit the like button. If you appreciate the content that we put out covering this team, as much of a mess as it is right now, and the fact that we're still here, please drop the like button. Really appreciate it. Devastate all. Kevin, if we fall below 500, are you against firing Mosley? No, I'm not against it now. I hate to say it, I'm not against it now. Like we've run out of options, and unfortunately, go back and listen to or watch today's episode of the podcast, myself and Jonathan. As soon as this is done, go back and watch it. We had a whole, in-depth conversation about the Jamal Mosley thing, and I kind of laid out how I feel, and just the state of the NBA. This is how it goes. When a team hits a wall like this, after this much time as Jamal Mosley's had here, it's just the next domino to fall. It's just the way it goes. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but that's just the way of the NBA. And unfortunately, barring some kind of absolute miracle, this is just how it's going to go. Let's go Niners, I think is what it's supposed to say. Those Cavs jerseys were beautiful. Yeah, that, again, combined with the black jerseys of the Magic, I thought was really, really cool. Let's end it on a positive note. I like the way this game looked tonight. It was aesthetically pleasing. How about that? What a great way to end the show. Oh, that's funny, except not really. Yeah, this sucks, guys. Magic back in action Wednesday. Going to Miami. Oh, please, can we just snap this losing streak and beat them? That'd be amazing. If not, It's going to get real ugly real fast. Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it as always. And until next time, let's go Magic.